Hello Cobra Kai fans, welcome back to the channel. This is the Cobra Kai Season 5 official trailer breakdown. We have so much to discuss. We're going to be looking at all the significant shots and what each shot is going to tell us about Season 5. Loads of analysis. Stay tuned. So in the first shot, we get to see Terry Silver and Amanda. From that image, clear insight that there's some sort of auction going on. You can see those people are holding cards up with numbers, which is what you'd normally see at an auction. We don't know what exactly is being auctioned or why they're both here. I definitely think it's no coincidence that Terry Silver's there whilst Amanda is there. We know Silver knows what he's doing. That is definitely sus. He's definitely trying to get in Amanda's good books to show that he's really not the issue. It's Daniel. But that's just Terry's perfect cunning way and being such a perfect manipulator of things. We get some shots of Terry Silver's Cobra Kai Dojo, which looks super badass, and it looks so much cooler than any of the Cobra Kai Dojos we've ever seen. It's then pretty hilarious when we see Johnny Lawrence using his Eagle Fang car to basically pick up these two ladies, which I assume he's an Uber because he's no longer doing karate. Johnny said that he washed his hands out of Cobra Kai once they lost the tournament, and he made it very clear he's not a sensei anymore. So him being an Uber driver for the meantime makes a lot of sense. I'm curious, this must be after Mexico. This has definitely got to be after they come back finding Miguel from Mexico, because Johnny wouldn't be going to be an Uber driver from the start of Season 5. As at the end of Season 4, he made it very clear that he is going to find Miguel to Carmen. So he went all the way to Mexico to find him. And we'll obviously see what happens there. Daniel announces that Miyagi-Do is officially shut. And of course Sam retaliates and isn't happy with hearing that. He says with Johnny gone, there's not much he can do. Which is quite interesting because they might have just tricked us by saying that Johnny is just an Uber driver now. But maybe he's just in Mexico at this point. And this must be early into Season 5 because Daniel's right to shut Miyagi-Do as they lost the bet to Cobra Kai in the tournament. This must be right in the first 2 episodes that Daniel announces this. Probably episode 1, finding Miguel. Some absolute badass shots of Terry Silver's Cobra Kai Dojo with his students. You can see Devon training right next to Tory, and that was definitely happening as we saw that in the image they released last week. Carmen is checking her mail and sees the Cobra Kai logo, which is definitely some flyer that's promoting, and the ones that are opening very soon. Terry Silver also says that Cobra Kai has now got more students than it ever has. It cuts to a shot, which is a sensei that has cutting edge karate written on the back of his gi, and you can see another sensei to the right wearing red. This must be the moment that Terry Silver is looking to take over other dojos, or is at least hiring new senseis for his other dojos that we saw in the teaser. He's opened dozens of locations and he's going to be looking for quite a few senseis. You can see how big the new dojo is and how many students there are. You can even see a few people at the front which look like senseis that are working with Silver and possibly senseis of the other dojos. Terry Silver clearly calls in recruitments and some old friends, which are exactly Sensei Kim being one of them, because even though we think Mike Barnes was going to be one of them, it didn't make any sense for him to call upon Mike Barnes, when clearly he knows a lot of people in higher places with the work he's done in the past. Terry Silver has made it very clear they need more senseis, so he obviously calls Sensei Kim, and it looks like all of these senseis are actually with Sensei Kim, and they've agreed to help Silver. He says that he's thinking a lot bigger than just the valley, which is freaking nuts, because this means his plans go further than the valley. Now, I'm starting to think that Terry Silver wants to dominate not just North America, but also South America, Europe, and probably the entire world. This is why I also think the All Valley is not happening, as I've said previously in other streams and in the trailer reaction when I just saw the trailer. There's definitely some crazy things coming, and we will talk more about what that could mean with Silver going past the valley. We see that at the water park, tensions are still bad with the Cobra Kais and the other students like the Miyagi-Do and the Eagle Fangs. We see Anthony is now getting bullied, which was ironic because he was the bully in Season 4. You can see Kenny is getting his revenge and he is very happy with it. It's quite hilarious that Kenny tries to fight Eli, because Eli is the champ and he is definitely way more superior. Miguel and Robbie are also at the water park, as we already know in the images and also when they have that interaction in the teaser. Robbie says that he knows how things can start from nothing and get bigger and bigger until all you feel is hate. It might be an interaction with Kenny, because he doesn't want him in Cobra Kai. He's definitely very concerned about that. And he even said this to Johnny at the end of season 4, how he'd understood what he was saying about Cobra Kai. And now that he had someone under his wing and saw him go through that, he now totally understands why Cobra Kai was bad for him. Robbie and Miguel have this interaction, and it looks like maybe Robbie pushed someone in the pool, hence why Miguel goes over to push Robbie. Most likely it was Eli, and maybe Robbie just wanted to make sure that Kenny was okay and Eli didn't hurt him. There's probably no other reason why Robbie would do that, because he was clearly trying to go over there to defuse things. But of course Miguel probably sees that and then decides, what the hell are you doing, man? And of course things are very tense after Mexico, but they're still yet to bond, and I will hopefully see that within the mid-season. Johnny is still trying to force them to be friends. We know when they say these types of quotes, it means it's foreshadowing something that's about to come. We get a little bit more of the Robbie-Miguel fight, and it definitely looks like Miguel is so fully ready to fight Robbie. I'm curious how this fight starts. There's definitely different theories. I don't think it's a dream anymore. It definitely feels like it's too real, that it's not even going to be Johnny's dream. And I honestly think Miguel is going to be fighting Robbie very hard here. Because this season, I believe he's going to have the edge after coming back from Mexico. And clearly, Robbie is getting the love from his father this time round. So they're kind of switching up. Robbie definitely feels more like season 4 Miguel, whereas Miguel is almost like season 4 Robbie with that edge. It's very much a parallel, but it also shows how much these guys really don't like each other and they need to resolve these things. But at the same time, different, but same. You can see how many dojos there is now. So Silver has got to have so many senseis for each one. There are now 15 dojos that occupy the valley with Cobra Kai. How many senseis are going to be part of each dojo? There will be 15 senseis, or maybe some of the senseis will occupy more than one dojo. There's a lot more senseis with Cobra Kai than there is on Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang's side. Chozen makes it very clear they need to fight for what's right, and he definitely doesn't sound like he's giving up. Tory and Devon are most likely having a demonstration with Sensei Kim, and she is honestly looking so badass, and I can't wait to see how Alicia Hannah Kim goes about this. Now this shot with Sensei Kim, Tory, and one of the senseis of one of the Cobra Kai dojos are lining up these students, and you can see Devon Lee is here wearing a blue gi, which makes it very clear that this is Topanga Karate's dojo. In the image they released with Terry Silver a while ago, this did not look like a Cobra Kai dojo. It looked like Cobra Kai were taking over. And it makes total sense now because you see Sensei Kim is here and all these other students, unless they were Topanga, but now have joined Cobra Kai. Maybe Devon is very certain of staying as a Topanga student. Or perhaps she might even join Cobra Kai at this point. Because we know that she ends up wearing the gi and she is in the dojo's training. But this might be her initiation. She has a fight with Tory which might actually push her to joining Cobra Kai. Because she wants revenge on what happened to her in the All Valley. When she was fighting Tory as she was with Eagle Fang. This might give her the oomph to actually go and join Cobra Kai. Remember, Eagle Fang lost the tournament as well as Miyagi-Do, which meant that their dojos had to shut. Johnny is clearly occupied and prioritizing Miguel and going to Mexico and even spending more time with his son Robbie. And he's not focused on Eagle Fang and even doing anything with them right now. So it looks like Devon is wanting to continue karate, ends up joining Topanga, but then sees herself joining Cobra Kai. You can definitely see that Sensei Kim is vicious. She whacks Tory with a bamboo stick and says, "I said harder." Sounds like she is definitely more crazy or even more strict than even Silver was with Daniel. But I think there's going to be a huge parallel with Daniel and Silver's relationship in the Karate Kid 3 with Tory and Sensei Kim. Because you remember in the teaser, she is punching something that looks like stone. And it doesn't look like wood, and it looks way worse than punching wood. So it looks like she's going to be really having that Silver Daniel dynamic with Tory in season 5. We see a badass image of Chozen in the Cobra Kai Dojo with 6 senseis, which looks like Terry Silver was trying to hire them. They don't seem to be in the dojos with the gis though. So maybe this is where Terry Silver is initially hiring new senseis. These could actually make up the other senseis that we didn't see as part of the other dojos that occupy the valley. But it definitely looks like Chozen's going to have a badass moment, and he's going to definitely handle this as Daniel says he's going to handle it with him. I can't wait to see this scene because I just don't think Chozen is going to lose because this is Chozen. He is badass. Things definitely get more tense between Amanda and Daniel, and it looks like Amanda has come to a boiling point where she's very fed up with all the karate drama and nonsense because she probably thought after the tournament it was over. But now it continues because Daniel doesn't want Cobra Kai to expand when Silver is that man doing it all. We see more shots of Chozen fighting all the senseis, and the sensei from Cutting Edge Karate looks like he's about to get destroyed by Chozen. I don't know if he breaks his arm in this shot, but if he does, that is going to be brutal. And we know Chozen does not mess around. This might be the actual display of what Chozen can do. This might even happen in front of Terry Silver because in one of the earlier shots, you can see Terry Silver talking to those senseis that he's potentially trying to hire for Cobra Kai from the other karate dojos in the valley. This might be a statement from Chozen say to Silver, do not mess with me or any of my friends. Daniel looks at a photo of his family and he looks very rough. He looks like he hasn't had any sleep and he's got a little bit of beard that has been growing. Now, Daniel doesn't ever look this rough, so something must have happened. It might line up with the argument that he had with Amanda. We don't know what exactly happened, but I think she's very fed up with what's going on. I won't be surprised if they have a little break because Daniel really cares about his family and you know that he does.